Hello again, fellow American. I am an American. I haven't got the fucking accent quite down, but I am one, so zip it. An unnaturally grey day here in Los Angeles, LA. I haven't posted for 6 days, so I want to do a bit of a sort of news roundup. A bit like the BBC, except it's not being brought to you by a fucking Marxist with a head full of cow shit, an expensive education in the humanities or the arts, but the common sense of a fucking walnut. There's been a few things that made me laugh this week, so I'm going to run over them. I wanted to just do a sort of, obligatory gloating Brexit video, but a few things have made me laugh in the last 5 days, so I'm going to go over them. The first one was this perler. So I go on Quora a lot, as a lot of you know, and there's a few interesting guys on there. I read this answer to a question, which was, why are some men insecure about their height? It made me laugh straight away because, a lot of guys out here talk about how blokes, they get sort of like ridiculed for being small. But it made me laugh because in Middlesbrough, little man syndrome is extremely common. And I remember when I was in school, there was a couple of short lads, and we used to call one of them Paul Daniels. He's the Middlesbrough magician who's only about 5 foot tall. Literally, if you called him it, he'd just howl like a madman and then try and cave your fucking head in with a stapler in the middle of the classroom. Like, he was a fucking lunatic. It made me laugh because these guys think the worst of their problems are like, you can't get laid. But if you're a short ass in Middlesbrough, you usually end up fucking wrestling 7 days a week. It is a strange thing with small guys. And it made me think it's a bit like dogs, isn't it? Like, you see like a big fuck off Saint Bernard or one of them, or a Doberman or a Rottweiler or something, pit bull. The sort of bigger dogs don't seem to be that bothered. They're just relaxed, aren't they? Whereas the little fuckers are like Yorkshire Terriers that yip, yip, yip constantly, because they're tiny, and I think they've got a massive complex about it. Anyway, the thing that made me laugh the most about it was going through the comments that women make on Tinder about short guys. Here's a good one. Daily reminder that guys under 5'8" are females. Bit harsh, Kaylee, you fucking slut. This made me laugh. You're allowed to spray a man with Raid. That's insect repellent, if you're English. If he's under 5'11". And someone responded, does this mean we can use elephant guns on girls more than £200? That's a good one. This was the one that made me laugh the best, right? So Caitlin here, I don't go on Tinder, I'm too old for that shit. But this guy shared it. And Caitlin there, now I'm assuming she's the one on the left. She's pretty tidy. Can't really see her face that well in the picture, but she's in good shape. However, here's her about section. It's Caitlin. If you aren't at least 6'3", I'm not interested. Also, short guys, do not stand next to tall ones in your Tinder pic. My passions are sports and being gorgeous. I'm 4'11", so a fucking dwarf. I mean, that's not just little. That's midget. I'm not a particularly tall man. I'm 5'9". Not small enough to have a complex about my height. But, in the Royal Marines, everyone's a big cunt. So I was typically one of the shorter guys when we'd go out on the piss. And, they'd wind me up occasionally. I remember once a woman came over and she was, flirting with the lads. And I was like, all right, love, how are you doing? And she went, who the fuck are you? And I was like, I'm a fucking bootnik. I'm out with these. And she was like, you aren't a Marine. You're too small. As if they believe the stereotype that, to be a Royal Marine, you have to be fucking 6'4" and arms like fucking Garth. And I said to her, fuck off, love, I'm out with these. I'm a fucking Royal Marine Commando, baby. And she was like, nah. As she was arguing with me, my mate put his arm around me and said, oh no, he works for Greg's. He makes the best fucking pasties in all the toon. Fucking arsehole. Anyway, she said, I'm 4'11" and 105 pounds. And love my looks. I'm ultra competitive and can probably beat you in basketball. I don't fucking think so, love. It says, I never message first. Don't waste my time by being boring, fat, short, or a slob. Also, no facial hair. Be tall. That's the first thing women notice. Be in shape, no fatties, and have a thought. Like, everything about that I love. Like, I'm hoping she's just taking the piss and she's not really serious about dating, because the thing that made me laugh the most was, A, you can't just fucking be tall, and B, if she's not even interested if you're 6'2.5", she's probably written off about 90. I don't know the height of, in general, of Americans. It's slightly larger than ours in the UK, because, mixed in a lot with the Dutch and the Germans and people that are a little bit taller. But I think she's written off 99% of the fucking country there. And the other thing that made me laugh was I put in a comment, like, she's 4'11", so I pray for the day when she dates. She goes on Tinder, meets a bloke who's like 6'4", perfect, swipes fucking whatever it is, right or left, to go on a date with him. And he's a freak, and he's got a cock like fucking Arnold's fucking forearm, right? And he belts one into it. Essentially, it's going to be like sort of strapping on a meaty condom, with a few knobbles in it where a fucking skull is. And then he'll punch a few fucking holes in her lungs with his Titanic bell end. And she'll have a limp for a month and then go, okay, I think I'll date fellow fucking hobbits again. Moving on. Yeah, it's nothing like BBC News, is it? Moving on. It's what do you wish the rest of America knew about California? I wanted to give some insight into this one because Andrew T. Post, he's a great bloke. I follow him on Quora. I recommend you have a look at his profile. He's a funny guy. Much more right-wing than me, but he's good-humoured with it. And again, not the end of the world being pretty right-wing, is it? Being conservative is acceptable in this day and age. Yeah, of course, no, but everyone's shunning the Nazis and the far right and the fascists and the fucking maniacs. But it's not a crime to be right-wing, despite what they say in The Guardian on the fucking BBC. So yeah, check him out, Andrew. He's a good lad. The question was, what do you wish the rest of America knew about California? And he said, for the last freaking mother-loving time, California is not a success story. It's horrible. It's a hellhole. It's an example of idiocy and short-sightedness of democratic policies. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is because, like I said, I still consider myself a centrist, centre-right perhaps, but I'm definitely not particularly conservative. And I wanted to bring some balance to Andrew's post because I've lived here in LA for a year or two, all in. And I feel like I can give some insights into it. So I think California is definitely a decent place to live. The weather's fucking fantastic. The food's fucking lovely. The people are dead friendly. There's a sort of myth that California and New York are full of cunts and everyone's a miserable bastard. It's not that bad. Like when I left Alabama, guys out there were saying to me, "Oh, you don't want to go to California. They're all fucking scum." It's nowhere near as bad as guys like Andrew say. I think the politics colour their opinion of the place. That being said, they are fucking cunts on the roads. Like I pulled to a halt last week to let an old woman across a fucking pedestrian crossing. Because seriously, in California, in LA especially, they just fucking ignore you. If you stand at the side of the road at a pedestrian crossing, the cunts just fucking zoom through. And you see guys looking at you, exasperated, throwing their hands up, because people just fucking totally ignore them. If there isn't a flashing red light telling you to stop, it's just a proper pedestrian crossing where it's not lit and you're just supposed to give way whenever you see a pedestrian. You might as well be a fucking wearing predator armour, because they do not give a fuck. They just pretend you're not there. So I fucking slowed to a halt for an old woman who's trying to cross the fucking street at a pedestrian crossing. And this fucking maniac behind me started blowing his fucking horn like a crazy bastard. Like, not just the odd bip bip, like full on, cocksucker motherfucker, like seriously going fucking ape shit. And it reminded me, I remember being on the piss about fucking 15 years ago in New York with a load of Irish lads, and we were all sat outside a boozer, and one of them said to me, like, have you heard all the fucking horns? Like, in LA and New York, they're fucking on them all the time, like endless beeping, as if they're fucking communicating using them. It's really weird. Like back home, no cunt presses their horn, do you? You can literally go weeks without hearing the car horn. But out here, they are cunts on the road, because the traffic's that bad, and you're stuck in it fucking all the time. It makes them crazy on the roads. Like, I remember seeing Falling Down when I was a kid, where the guy gets stuck in traffic in LA and he goes fucking mental and kills every cunt. And I thought, that's a fucking daft idea for a film. And then I moved out here, and then a week in, I was like, oh yeah, now I get why you might fucking ditch your car in the middle of a freeway and go on the fucking rampage with a machine gun. It's a fucking mad place to drive. So I agree with Andrew on some of what he's got to say, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents and give a measured opinion. Pros and cons. So the pros are, food's great variety of food, fucking Mexican food's lovely, weather's fantastic, people are dead friendly, unless they're driving. Downsides, lots of what Andrew's got to say. the fucking economy is pretty fucked up. Like, if it wasn't for they've won the lottery and got all these big industries like Silicon Valley and the fucking movie industry out here, they would be fucked. Like, they waste money, like, piss it up the wall like a drunken sailor. The useless cunts that run this fucking place. And the homeless people, it's unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Like, I read on the BBC, California's got 50% of all the homeless people in America. So it's literally, there's 50 states, and half of them live in this fucker. Probably because Gavin Newsom, that fucking soy boy up north in Sacramento, is probably, incentivising coming here. So, and probably the weather, right? So they're probably, if you're a tramp, froze to the fucking floor in Alaska, you're probably going to go, you know what, I'll panhandle for an hour and I'm going to use the money to get a bus to California because fuck this shit. I can imagine if you're snapping your piss off in icy strips, you're probably going to want to move to California. So yeah, I understand that, but it is unbelievable. As a Brit, when you move out here, you think of like marble streets, golden lampposts. You know, you think you'll be walking down some picturesque boulevard and you'll see like, you know, Robert De Niro walking his dog, fucking Angelina Jolie putting the milk out, and you don't see that. You see fucking a manky old prosy having a shite up against a wheelie bin. That's what you fucking see in Hollywood. Hollywood is a fucking shithole. Like, I learned 3 things from moving to LA. I learned, A, the Americans are the best advertisers in the world. You know, they can sell a place. It could look, but it could be a shithole in real life, but if they, you know, put a nice smoky filter over it and make it an advert, a commercial, they'll make it look like fucking heaven. I learned you should never believe anything that you read or see on television because you can't trust the advertisers. And I learned that crack cocaine is very high in fibre because that manky old hooker pissed fizzy gravy out of her arse and it nearly landed on my wife's fucking shoes. So yeah, that's what I've got to say about California. Swings and roundabouts. Not as bad as Andrew says, but definitely not as good as the Machetes make out. Some actual news now. Nick Ferrari on LBC went mental and covered this story about a bloke who was pulled over on a routine traffic stop and then proceeded to try and fucking hack the guy to bits, the copper, with a fucking machete. And Nick Ferrari was pissed off because you watch the camera, it's fucking mental. I'm not going to show it because they'll probably take my fucking video down. Fucking lunatic hacked him with a 2-foot machete 6 times during a routine stop. And Mohammed Rodwan was found not guilty of attempted murder for going at him with a machete because he said that as a handyman, he used the machete as a tool. Now, fair play to the copper, he did the right thing. He managed to stay conscious and calm, controlled his breathing like a professional, and took him down with a taser. But he's a handyman in central London. Now, if he was a handyman in fucking Sierra Leone and his job was clearing areas of jungle for his constituents who pay him with fucking vegetables, then I think that'd be a decent defence. But as it stands, that's fucking bullshit. And I think the UK is a fucking joke. If Priti Patel doesn't get it sorted, Priti Patel's pretty hardcore. She needs to get a fucking grip. Because that is a fucking piss take. Been trying to lop some cunt's lug off with a machete and twatting him in the head. He was fully taking chunks out of his scalp with a machete. And it's not attempted murder, that. It was merely an argument. Fucking unbelievable. I think Britain's like America in reverse. I remember when this bloke in Borough got stabbed a pensioner. He didn't stab him that many times, about 10 times, because he was doing a burglary, and he got surprised. And he got done for attempted murder, because if you stick a knife into someone a few times, that's attempted murder. But Glyn Sullivan was a pasty, northern, working class British arsehole, so he gets done for attempted murder, and he gets life in prison. But Mohammed Radwan, he gets let off with was assault or whatever the fuck it was, wounding with intent. I'm sorry, but I think this is about the 10,000th incident of the British authorities going easy on you if you happen to have the right background. It's like American reverse. Like, they ignored the gang rape of girls for 15 fucking years because there were Asians doing it. And apparently you can fucking lop some cunt's ear off with a machete and they go, well, that way he wasn't trying to kill him. He needs the machete for his work in London, you know. Killing puff adders and Egyptian cobras and fucking clearing vines from fucking people's mud huts. That's what he needed his machete for. Fair enough, innit? Unfucking believable. What else made me laugh? Oh yeah, look at this one. Hillary Clinton is done trying to be liked. Hillary Clinton is done trying to be liked. This is from Thursday. If she's been trying to be liked, I want to know what that wizened old hag, I want to know what she acts like when she's trying to be a cunt. Because fucking hell, she is about as likeable as a fucking rattlesnake with a hangover. Fucking hell, she is a fucking awful cunt. There's no part of me likes Hillary Clinton. At least Bill Clinton had a bit of crack. Like, he seemed like he was alright on the face of it. But Hillary Clinton, yeah, apparently she's done trying to be liked. The thing that annoyed me about the story is, it's just like with Meghan Markle. They blame all of the woke buzzwords, like, you know, in this day and age, like Joe Rogan. In fact, I'll talk about Joe Rogan in a bit. You say one thing that they don't like, one aspect of the many that their arguments make up, and they just reel off the buzzwords. Like, just to give an example, like Joe Rogan says, oh yeah, I don't think trans women should be allowed to do cage fighting against women because they've got an unfair advantage. You say that one thing, but that's just that just ticks one of the boxes of the woke intersectionality crowd. So then they just reel off everything, and you see things, articles saying he's a misogynist, racist, sexist, homophobe, transphobe, and they just reel them all off. Like, you can just tick one box and they fucking reel everything off, which is mad as fuck. And it's the same here. Like, Hillary Clinton is disliked by both women and men for numerous reasons. She's on video saying that she was anti-LGBT. I'll put it on anyway. Fuck it.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman. This morning, love triumphed in the highest court in our land.
And the worst thing about that famous clip was when an LGBT radio host called her on it. Clinton fucking proper had a go at her. She didn't hold her hands up and say, oh yeah, I did say that and my position's evolved. She fucking went mental and went, oh, you're smearing me. Fucking proper attacked her for it. So Hillary Clinton's just a fucking snake. I don't even want to watch the rest of the video because I don't want Guardian News getting any more traffic. The point is, Clinton's a fucking twat. Everybody hates her because she flip-flops constantly. She is a proper, stereotypical politician. Will say anything that'll get her elected and then changes her mind left, right and centre, and everyone knows that she is pathologically insincere. And because of that, they hate her. But the first thing they say is, oh, well, it's sexism. It's definitely sexism why people don't like Hillary Clinton. So now she's annoyed. It's just like Meghan Markle. It's not sexism. It's not racism. It's because you're shameless, and you act like a fucking arsehole on television and to the general public. I don't want to go on another tirade about Meghan Markle, but seriously, everyone knows it. Everyone loved her. Everyone was nice to her. And then and everyone's waving them fucking flags. They weren't waving Pepe flags at the royal wedding. They weren't waving Nazi flags at the royal wedding. They were waving them fucking stupid ones with Harry and Meghan, forever, true love in the middle. That's what they were waving. And then 2 years later, she starts gobbing off about fucking climate change when she's off on a private jet fucking 8 times in a fucking month. And then everybody goes, whoa, she's a hypocritical fucking cunt. And everyone's like, you racist, sexist bastards. Probably called you homophobic as well. I don't think Meghan Markle's ever licked anyone's minge or done any fucking scissoring, but they'll call you it anyway. Fuck it, you don't like Meghan Markle? Oh, racist, sexist, homophobe. That's what you are, you cunt. Unbelievable. So fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. Hillary Clinton is done trying to be liked. I pissed myself laughing. Okay, finally, let's get to the meat of what I did want to talk about, which was doing a bit of wonderful gloating because we're going to be leaving the European Union in 5 days. I almost looked at my fucking watch then. I'm not wearing one. 5 days, we're fucking off. Get in. But I fucking love this video. So it was on Sky. This is why they call them the fucking Loony Left. Get a load of this fucking mad cunt.
Now, have we got a treat for you now? Let me introduce you to Len McCluskey's Little Red Book. Well, actually, maybe more Burnt Sienna.
Burnt Sienna. My sides. That was a great quip. You Scottish communist.
Reflects on his personal journey from the Liverpool docks to, well, arguably, the most powerful man in the Labour Party after the leader and the General Secretary of United Union. Len McShitforBrains joins us now. Mr McShitforBrains, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Neil.
There was a wonderful quote I was going through the introduction to your book last night, in fact, Mr McShitforBrains, and it says this: I sincerely hope that by the time Why You Should Be a Trade Unionist reaches bookshops, that this nation has achieved a lasting, credible settlement, one that heals our divisions and gives hopes of a fairer future for all the people of this country. Now, that was written in November. What went wrong in December?
Well, obviously, Labour suffered a major defeat, primarily, as far as I'm concerned, because of Brexit. The more we slid in to be perceived as a Remain party, the more the consequences were going to be felt in our heartlands. Many of those seats that we've lost, virtually all of them, voted Leave, and there was a feeling of betrayal. The Labour Party had betrayed them, and we suffered the consequence. Now, some of us were telling the leadership that, and we've been telling them that for many months, but that's the position, and we have to dust ourselves down, choose a new leader, and move on to win back the trust of those heartlands, but indeed the rest of the nations as well.
And indeed, Unite has come out for Rebecca Long-Daily and Richard Berg.
So, the short version is, again, I don't want to play it all because I fucking hate Sky. It's weird how Sky News is so good in Australia and so centrist and balanced, but in England it's just ran by fucking, again, ridiculous Marxist, postmodernist dickheads with expensive arts educations and a fucking head full of cow shit. But he says, the only reason anyone dislikes Jeremy Corbyn is because of Brexit. That's the only reason. No, it's because he's a fucking arsehole, and every single time in his entire 30-year career he's ever stuck up for anyone, it's been the people that are against the British people, the British state. IRA, Hamas, Hezbollah, any fucker you can think of, the Muslim Brotherhood, he'll fucking take their side. If they're against us, he's on their team. He's like fucking Diego Maradona. And I've got out against Diego because he's Argentinian. He should be against us, the little fat, sweaty midget. But Jezza is English. So that's the funny thing. He claims there's only one reason people dislike Corbyn. It's just Brexit. Everything else, we fucking love him. If it wasn't for Brexit, we'd all be around his house wanking him fucking silly. And the funniest part is, this is the comedy. The answer to this, then, if the only reason we disliked him was because of Brexit, is to nominate another Remainer. This is the logic in Len's logical Len. This is what he thinks. The only reason we disliked Jezza is because of Brexit, so let's nominate a Remainer to take his place. Rebecca Wrong-Daily. That's who he wants to nominate. A full-on commie.
There are those who see this as almost continuity Corbyn, and given the fact that 2 general elections have been lost in that vein, what is the rationale for those choices?
Well, I don't believe it's fair on Becky to talk in terms of continuity Corbyn. She's her own individual. People will see she's strong, courageous, brave.
Strong and brave. They love that fucking line, don't they?
She's certainly capable, and she's able to take forward her vision. It will be her vision. She believes in the radical nature of Labour's policies. And
fucking Becky. Rebecca Wrong-Daily is an idiot. She's as daft as Jezza. She's as far left as Jezza. And she's as rabidly Remainiac as Jezza. So to nominate her when you're claiming that the only reason Corbyn's disliked is due to Brexit is fucking laugh out loud funny, you daft scouse cunt. I don't know what else to say about it. So let's end on a positive note. Thomas Jefferson, a man I feel a kinship with, is quoted on our new British coin commemorating Brexit. We've got a nice new 50 pence out, and it says, "Peace, prosperity and friendship with all nations." Good, that, innit? I like TJ. He was born a British subject, and he became an American by choice. Just like Matty. So for a change, the angry bootneck will leave on something positive. We are leaving in 5 days. Rebecca Wrong-Daily is getting all the endorsements for the Labour leadership, so they'll not win for another fucking 15 years. And we've got a nice coin with a great quote from a fine gentleman cementing our status as an independent country, and we can get the fuck out there and make friends with all our chums that we used to be mates with. Like, when I was a kid, we had a stronger relationship with the British Commonwealth. You know, we used to get all our lamb in from New Zealand. We'd learn all about the Aussies and the Kiwis and the Canadians and the Americans when we were in school. And all the former colonies, we learnt about Indians and the Jains and all the little colonial outposts. And, you know, I remember learning about the native people in places like Barbados and St. Vincent and St. Helena and all that. They're the people we can build a relationship with going forward. It will be fucking good. I've never bought into the scaremongering. We can really make a go of it. The fucking frogs, they were selling the RG's fucking missiles during the Falklands War. The Jerrys have never been our friends. Our fucking future does not lie with Europe. Those oily, sneaky bastards have never been on our team. Our relatives across the Anglosphere have been. Hence, my Anglosphere flag that I've always kept on the background of my videos, because I think that's where we are. That's who we have a kinship and a genuine friendship with, and that's where I want us to be going forward. See EU later. We're off, and I'm fucking buzzing about it. Cheers, lads. I hope everyone enjoyed the random collection of shit, because I was busy as fuck last week and I didn't get a chance to make anything for 6 days or whatever it was. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and I hope everyone's doing well. Cheers.